Take a look at some new video tonight showing a stream of migrants crossing the southern border into Arizona. A desperate and dangerous choice. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Corey Chambers.
And I'm Tamsa Fidel. Well, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol say that just this week alone, 231 migrants from Central America were caught at the border, most from what is known as the Northern Triangle of Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. In El Salvador, police officers are targets just like local residents.
Yeah, but gang violence is not the only thing they are fleeing. Pix 7's Sean Benavides has part 2 now of Trapped in the Triangle.
Night has fallen in the capital of El Salvador, and we are riding along with the National Police under the cover of darkness as they go out on patrol.
You like your job?
Yeah, I like it because, you know, you help people. You help people here. But at the same time, in this country, it's dangerous.
Officer William Saldivar, full-time officer and college student, has been on the job for only 2 years.
What goes through your mind? I mean, do you think that any night you could get killed out on the streets?
Yeah, it could happen in every time, you know. Now I have the uniform, but when I get my shift off, I have to take off my uniform.
Officer Saldivar patrols the streets wearing a uniform that's gotten 10 officers killed so far in 2019. The year before, 32 officers lost their lives in a country with the same population size as the state of Maryland. Gang members follow police officers after their shift to catch them off guard. For them, it's not just about killing their victims, but it's also about the way they kill.
Maybe once a week, maybe daily.
You're saying up to once a week you can hear of somebody getting decapitated.
Yeah.
This local pastor, who won't give us his real name, you'll understand why in a moment, knows a lot about how gang members kill. He used to be one of them, a member of MS-13. Now, a self-proclaimed evangelical Christian, hoping to help kids leave gang life behind. We met him at his church at the Las Palmas neighborhood. I would say about 15, he tells me, about the number of people he has killed. He started participating in homicides when he was just 8 years old. He tells me most of his victims were rival gang members and specific hits he was ordered to do. There's still hope for gang members, he tells me, to turn their life around, repent, and through religion, start anew. This is the violence pushing Salvadorans to the north. But that's not the only factor forcing people from their country. About 300 miles away, droughts have been affecting local crops, which means fewer jobs in rural communities. The last 3 years have been critical. Francisco Cázares tells me he is in charge of a number of fields that have implemented new measures to battle what he calls a dramatic change in climate.
This is one of the large farm fields that is here in the El Zunca neighborhood of El Salvador. As you can see, this is a pretty large field. There are a lot of farm workers right here. What they've told us is that they don't want to leave their communities. As long as there is work here, they will stay here, but climate change is starting to force some of them to migrate.
We visited the area along with a New York delegation on a fact-finding mission to Central America, here to understand why people are fleeing to the U.S. border.
The impact of climate change, is creating a drought situation, more extreme weather, a drier season, more opportunity for pests that can destroy crops to thrive.
36-year-old Wilfredo Martinez has worked on the field since he was 11. Where his father and grandfather also worked. There are a lot of us who want to work, he tells me, but warns. The crops aren't getting better. Workers looking for a way to survive. For many of them, that means the U.S. In El Salvador, I'm Cristian Benavides, Pix 11 News.
There is so much more to talk about in all this. Part 3 of Trapped in the Triangle airs tomorrow night at 10. Christian is going to take a look at the role poverty plays in driving people from Guatemala to the U.S. That is tomorrow night on the Pix 11 News at 10 o'clock.
This is a scam.